Welcome, and thanks for joining me on the Ultimate 180 podcast. If you have ever felt exhausted, overwhelmed, or even trapped in your own life and wish you had a life makeover, then you are in the perfect place to learn how to pull an Ultimate 180 and change your life beyond all expectations. I'm your host, Kristina Walker, and today I want to share with you a little known but wildly effective method in bringing new and exciting opportunities into your life without spending hours on top of your already busy schedule. Does that sound good? All right. So, okay, this episode came to me in a very weird way, but I've kind of learned to go with it because I was watching a comedy special of all things, and it was super cool. So, Dave Chappelle, he's got on Netflix, it's called The Dreamer. And regardless if you like his humor or not, what I thought was amazing was he gave this gift of this principle that I'm going to tell you about to the audience. And I thought, oh my God, for him, that's what this whole entire comedy special was about. It wasn't even about the comedy, but he was trying to help people understand this. And I thought that was amazing. In fact, I literally had tears coming out of my eyes because I've never heard anybody else talk about this because I'm not sure if a lot of people really know and understand this principle. So I just thought it was so cool. And so I kept it in the back of my mind. I'm like, I've got to share this. I've got to share this. I've got to share this. So I'm going to like kind of set up his scenario. Please give me grace because I'm obviously not a comedian and his version is way better. But I want to give you kind of the scene so that you understand the principle I'm about to tell you about. So he was talking about he went to this club one night and, he was sitting in his spot and nobody was really recognizing him or coming up to him or, giving him really any attention at all, which is weird because Dave Chappelle is a big name. And especially in a club, people are always surrounding him, and he's thinking, what is going on? This is so weird. And then he noticed that all of the attention is going to this other guy. And, people are laughing, people are paying attention to him. And he's like, who's this guy? And he's like, he knows the guy, but like, you know, I'm Dave Chappelle, right? And then it hits him. He's like, oh my God, I'm in this guy's dream. I'm in somebody else's dream. And that hit me because I really understand what he was talking about. And what I thought was extra cool was that when he realized it, he thought, okay, I'm not going to steal this guy's dream right now because he could. He's Dave Chappelle. He could totally like try and get the attention on himself and all of that. It's not about that. He was like, oh, I get it. I get it. I haven't been focused on my dream enough. And now I'm in this guy's dream. So I'm going to give him grace. I'm going to, give him all the kudos. I'm going to give him the laughter. I'm going to give him the attention. And then when I'm done with this evening, I got to go back and I got to go start living my dream. And I was shocked that Chappelle understands this concept really well and that too that he wanted to share this with the audience more than anything. And so I'm going to break it down for you what it really means and then my method of how to create this for yourself. Because what happens in life is when you start to realize those moments when other people are getting all the kudos, they're getting the job offers, they're getting the girlfriend, they're getting whatever it is, all these opportunities and exciting things are happening to other people. And a lot of times it just makes us feel really bad. And we're like, once again, I'm passed over, right? And it doesn't feel good at all, except that this is the opportunity to realize that you're just in somebody else's dream right now. And that's okay. And so the first course of action is to really acknowledge that you're in somebody else's dream. And that's totally okay. And give them the grace because when it does happen to you, and all the things start happening for you instead, you really want people to give you the kudos and the grace, right? That you don't want people trying to steal your dream while you're having your moment. That's not what we want. That doesn't feel good to anybody. So the first thing is to acknowledge, oh my God, I'm witnessing them living their dream. How cool is that? And first of all, that changes everything, right? That changes the way you feel because usually we feel really crappy about it. But now it's like, oh, okay. And now I get to go focus on my dream, right? because you really got to start focusing your energy, your thoughts, everything on your dream. And you got to feel in that moment like it's actually reality for you. It's actually going to happen. It's actually happening to you, that you get to now go and focus on your dream. Okay, like this is the most important moment when this happens. And then I'm going to share with you now the method that you have to use walking away from that situation so that you can start focusing and living in your dream. And you are going to be shocked at how quickly exciting opportunities and these things start happening for you. Because what we don't realize, it is so Chappelle in that moment, he was really like an extra in this guy's movie, right? And sometimes we'll play the extra, right? We're just somebody randomly at a party or whatever. We're just another coworker in the office. Sometimes we are, like the maybe the second, third, one of those actors that are important, but maybe not really one of the stars. We play all different roles in all different people's dreams, and it's okay. It's actually really great that everybody gets to live their dream. We don't see enough of it, actually. But this is not about focusing on just your dream and saying, forget everybody else. It's my dream, right? It's not that kind of energy at all. It's about, you know what, I'm going to focus all my energy and thoughts on my dream. And wow, I'm going to have moments in their dream, and I'm going to have moments in their dream. And that's great. And we're going to, we're going to go with that, and we're going to be happy for them. And then we're going to move gracefully back to our dream. And the way we do this is we got to think about it like a movie. Okay. Think about your living your dream like a movie. You have got to become the writer, the producer, the director, and the actor of your dream, whatever that is, whatever it is that you want in life. And so what I mean by that is you have to start out as the writer. The writer, right? You want to write your story, but you want to write it to the end. Like, write your story. How do you want this story to end at a certain point, right? Let's say if it's retirement, right? You want to have more money than you could spend in life. You want to have flexibility to travel. You want to feel healthy, whatever it is, however you want that movie to end at that point. And that doesn't mean you get to, you're done. That means you get to start another movie, right? You don't have to be the producer and the writer of just one movie. This could be, a trilogy. This could go on for, many, many, many books, right? But pick a book. Pick one book in your life right now that's really important to you. That's maybe not even going well for you. Write the story in your head at the end and really just focus on the end. How is that? How do you feel in the end? Okay. So now you know the story, right? This is great. So now you're going to be the producer. You've got to be the producer. And that's more of, okay, how do I want to show up in my day? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to be spending my time that supports this dream, right? And there's always things that we have to do that we don't want to do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the feeling of going through your day like, okay, where do I want to be? Where do I see myself in this moment, knowing the end of this story, right? Because you got to be the producer, you got to see the whole picture. And then you've got to be the director. And you've got to direct yourself in moments. So let's say you're going to have a contentious conversation. It's coming up, whether it's with a coworker, a boss, a relationship, a spouse, whatever it is. And you know how we sit in our head and we're like, oh, this is gonna suck, right? But instead of that, you need to be the director, because you're like, okay, in this chapter, how do I want this to end? I want to walk away from this meeting and I want us both to feel great about whatever we're talking about. What if that's a possibility? So if that's the possibility, I want to start this conversation. I want to feel into this conversation that it's already happened. that this conversation, we walked away from this conversation, scene end, we want to walk away from the situation and we really both feel great about it. Maybe better than you expected. Better than you expected. This is how we get there, guys. Okay. And then you have to be the actor. Now, think about it like this. The actor is, going through the motions of the day. These are like the little tiny micro moments. This is why I'm telling you this doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes your focus. It really takes your focus. And you have to remember to do this during just your daily life. Take those micro moments and say, wait a minute. Okay, I'm the actor. I remember how this is going to end. I know how this is going to end, whether it's the chapter or the full story. And when I say feel like you know how it's going to end, I want you to think about, let's say you're in the audience, okay? And you've seen the movie before. Let's say you're watching a thriller or a rom-com, whatever. And there's moments where you're like, oh God, is this ever going to happen? Or are they going to get away? Or whatever, those moments that are a little bit stressful, right? But if you've seen the movie before, say you've seen the movie a few times, right? You know how this is going to end. So the rest of the audience is in suspense, right? But the comfort, and it's a feeling of comfort. I already know how this is going to end. So I don't have to get all riled up. I don't have to get scared or fearful, when that scary part's coming. Or I don't have to get like, oh no, are they going to make it? Are they going to be together in the end? I don't have to go. It's dumbed down a little bit. I can still enjoy the ride because it's a fun ride and I know where it's going. But you have to be in that feeling of like, I know what's going to happen and enjoy the experience of like, oh, this is kind of fun. Right. So when you're the actor, you're taking the micro moments of your day, of your conversations, of your focus, and you're realigning them little by little on how you want this to end, whether it's the page, the chapter, right? The movie, the full ending of the movie. You have to start gaining control as the writer, the producer, the director, and the actor in this role of your life. And this is how you start to really live in your dream. Now, you're not going to go out of the gate and like life is just going to happen. You're like, wow. I mean, maybe these things will happen for you quickly. That's great. That means that maybe you've done this before. But when you start out, no matter which role you're playing in the moment, you're going to stumble. This is practice. This takes lots of practice, just like being in a movie, just like being a writer, right? Sending it to your editors and it gets sent back to you a million times with a bunch of red lines. And right, an actor has to do that part over and over and over and over, and then it finally starts to click, right? So a movie doesn't just go from beginning to end and ta-da, that was great, took us a day. It takes sometimes months, years, right, to get this. But the more you do it, the more micro moments that you spend on this, the quicker these new and exciting opportunities that align with your dream are going to show up. And again, I'm so amazed and grateful that Chappelle actually was giving this gift to his audience. Now, I don't know how many people really got the message, but it is so important for you to focus on your dream in this way. And he didn't really tell you how to do it. Because he's a comedian. It was awesome. But the point that he made really is the truth. And so I hope that your understanding of how to be in these micro moments throughout the day and throughout, days ahead, months ahead, years ahead, you start to see and congratulate yourself when this works and when you are starting to align with those things that are bringing you closer to living the end of that dream, the end of that story, that book, that movie, whatever it is. But you have to start getting really comfortable, like that audience member that has seen the ending a million times. And that's when the magic starts to happen. It is just so cool. So I hope this message finds you today, and I hope that you're able to understand it And on that note, I'm going to wrap up this episode. And if you want any more information on how you can use these tips that I give you, go on my website and join my VIP list on ultimate180.com. I'd love to hear from you. If there's an episode that's sitting in your head that you'd like to learn more, go to the contact me page and let me know because I'd like to hear it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And let's discover what's ultimately possible for you. So you can always find all my episodes on my website, ultimate180.com, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your shows.